you're gonna see, like I said, an increase of RFEs that almost always coincides with an increase of denials. Look, whether or not the Trump administration took over, there have always been changes to the H-1B system that were supposed to be implemented in January, that went into effect in January. And the fact of that is that was always going to change the way the game was played a little bit, the way that the cases were adjudicated, the way that the qualifications for an H-1B were measured by officers. What has changed in tandem with that is the overarching desire of USCIS, the desire of CBP, the desire of the consulates. I think we're no longer looking at least personally, a level of neutrality that may have existed over the previous administration. And that's going to lead to more difficult and stringent adjudications. So yeah, I think it will be harder this year for CAP than it was for people in the previous year. And we'll see how it plays out. The fact of the matter is that, as attorneys, it's our job to change with the times. It's our job to put our clients in situations and circumstances where they have the highest probability of a positive outcome. By CAP, we're already going to have gone through kind of the first round of H-1Bs in the year. Those people who unfortunately had to file extensions in January, February, and March that maybe are in premium and they got their decisions, even if they were, adverse, there's going to be a little bit more of an understanding of what's working and what's not working. And that will obviously impact strategy for the people that are selected and the cases that are filed. Because for those that are aware or not aware, the way that the H-1B lottery system works is it's beneficiary centric. So company wants to sponsor you. They put you into the lottery online by filling out your passport information and biographical information. They hit submit. You go in. The company pays a $215 fee. Lottery gets run, and then the beneficiary is picked. That beneficiary can have their H-1B filed with any company that agreed to sponsor them. But it's only ran for that person one time. So what that means is no matter how many companies say they'll sponsor your H-1B, you only take up one slot. So once that happens, people get selection notices. Selection notice says, hey, your H-1B got picked. You're in the master's cap or the bachelor's cap. Here's when here's where you file, and here's how long you have. Usually you get 3 months to file. So by the time we get to that 3-month period where it's time to file, I think we're going to have data, hard data on what the denial rates look like, what is working and what isn't working. And hopefully we can move that forward to get as many, approved cases as possible. I will say, just speaking personally about my profession, I think that the copy and paste days that may have worked under Biden, I think are over. I think when you're preparing an H-1B, it needs to be specific to the position. You need to be able to show definitive information as to what the person's going to be doing. I don't think you can just say, working with Java anymore for a software developer and expect USCIS to say, great, that's a specialty occupation, you're approved. I think you're going to need more evidence. I think you're going to need a better, stronger support letter and support documentation for your petitions. And we'll see what that looks like. But I do know that, sorry, my nose. But I do know that, there are definitely firms that it's a copy-paste job. They got X amount of positions that are software developer, software engineer, whatever. SOC code, copy, paste, send it into USCIS and see what happens. Be ready for pushback on that. Be ready for the request for evidence to come in because you're going to get what you pay for. And I'll just leave it at that.